I was going to say, before you start,
Mm.
I was just going to say we're now sponsored by Greg's.
Yeah, Greg's pasties.
Greg's pasties.
Yeah, so we'll get T-shirts done.
Yeah,
with
so
that.
yeah, we're not actually.
No,
They won't.
but if Greg's happen or any representative of Greg's end up watching this, we would be happy.
Happy, yeah.
Because we worked out if you wear those things that you put your water bottles in, you can fit a Greg's pasty in each one.
Yeah, well, like a 12-inch sausage roll in one, and then so we're happy to. They won't return my calls.
Oh, yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't sponsor us, Pepper Army will.
Yes.
So, you know,
pot noodle, maybe. Yeah.
Imagine trying to do a pot noodle on the lunch.
Get burned.
That'd be amazing at one of the stops, doing an ultra marathon. Hang on, just got to boil the kettle.
Yeah, hot water.
Magic, right.
I've just noticed as well, there's a lovely big mirror that you won't be able to, I can see myself in it.
How do you look?
I look pretty good, yeah.
Because my wig's at the laundrette at the moment, so this is my spare one.
No, you look good.
It's not looking too good. It's my Roger Moore one.
Yeah.
So, right.
I thought you're going more for the... Who's the other one? Not Craig
David. Craig David.
No, Daniel Craig. That's it.
Daniel Craig. Yeah. It normally is like Daniel Craig. It's hard to tell the difference,
especially when you go sea swimming.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
I came out. We went sea swimming the other day, and I came out, and she I audibly sighed. Yeah. So I think she just thought that's Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Coming in. What would he be doing in Kramer?
Or she just thought, oh Jesus. What's that beach whale coming?
I had seaweed over the head of it. Yeah. Didn't look good. So right, okie doke. So I'll just do a segue because the door's open over there. It's really annoying me.
All right. Okay.
So I'm just going
to go and shut that.
I'll do it.
No, I don't mind doing it. No, you keep these guys busy.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you crack on with these guys.
Will you be able to do that?
Yeah, I'll be able to shut them.
Yeah.
Look. So you've got 2 bottles of red wine there.
That's Andrew. That's sherry.
Oh, is it sherry?
Yeah, that's Andrew's, not mine. I don't drink
back in the room
too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Welcome to.
So
what were you calling it?
14. Well, just kind of the mad episode.
So how about Mad Runners?
Mad Runners.
Mad Runners.
Mad Runners.
But we need to. What is it when you make a word out of
an acronym?
An acronym. So we need to make an acronym out of mad.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, you the other day we were talking, and you said that Mental Awareness Day.
Yeah,
it's basically mad, and we'd never noticed that before. But
it's a bit of a conspiratorial program.
Yeah,
program going on.
So Mad Runners by Bear Runners. So
we felt it was. Let's do that. I'm not doing the long one again. I thought, I guess we talked about subject matter. And stuff that would be good to cover, and I guess the link between running and mental health, or just maybe mental well-being.
Yes,
is an important one to cover. To cover and break down and dissect and take a look at. So I mean, I guess I can open with my personal experience in the whole idea of remaining transparent, is that I've had loads of kind of chronic episodes of mental unwellness or mental dis-ease, not a disease, but dis-ease, when you're not at ease. Very acute, very episodic, and I don't often see them coming, but it's something that I've observed about my personality and who I am, that it's part and parcel of who I am. And I've often dealt with it in perhaps unhelpful ways and unhelpful formats. So I can reflect that, I guess, that link for me between running and mental wellness or mental dis-ease happened towards the end of the second lockdown. It was during, that kind of time during the second lockdown. I had a massive, chronic, reactionary, depressive state where I was suicidal and really extraordinarily low, clinically low. But I guess at the time I didn't realise, but afterwards I can reflect that that was when my love affair with running began during that time. And as I've mentioned probably before, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, was my go-to run time. And in Cromer we've done it on one of the videos, the Lighthouse Run in Hell Hill. That was my go-to run for 3 times a week, and I think that literally, to a certain degree, kept me alive. I think, along with other aspects of positive influences in my life, but that was something that absolutely gave me a bit of headspace.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I guess that relationship with running grew to a point where perhaps running replaced unhelpful addictions with, I would probably suggest, positive addictions, which is the need and the requirement to run. So I guess it's interesting looking at the relationship between running and finding some calm, some peace, some space with not only people who, I don't really want to use the word suffer because it's part of, maybe have a condition or suffer from feeling dis-ease within themselves. There is, what is it about running that can appease and help that? Because we've talked about before Bear Runners, about on runs where we as humans search for value, identity and purpose. I think everyone requires that. We require internal and external value. We require an identity to be able to communicate with those around us, and a purpose. We look and strive as humans for connections and a purpose. And I think they're often the first things to dissipate or crack when mental unwellness strikes us. And what is it about running? I guess I can look into myself that's provided me with that. And what's it replaced? It's replaced the pub is no longer a place that I would choose to go, and I would rather replace it with going for a run. And it's a real true, again, I use that word epiphany, but it's like the story of my running story could not be more powerful for me. It's like there's almost no real hugely negative habits I have left, really. They've been replaced with running.
Definitely.
And replaced with running. So if I felt that, okay, I'd maybe want to drink or I'd want to do something, I wouldn't, because I want to feel fresh for the run the next day. Or if I want to gorge on food, or I don't, because I want to continue with this journey. So I think it's interesting, and I've just read a book which I've lent to Paul. I don't know if we'll get it in there. Lent to us by Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. It's an incredible book. I've just finished reading it. Eat and Run by Scott Jurek, who is an incredible ultramarathon, or was an incredible ultramarathon runner, and pushes the boundaries of kind of physicality, but also gives some real beautiful observations in that, and the link between ultra running and how after you get to a certain point it's almost all mental. To get to that, obviously you have to have a certain amount of training, but you know, when you get beyond that point, it's the battle between the mind and the body. But we've also talked about how what our runners are runners running away from something, or I like to think we're running towards something.
Yeah.
And it's like that. It's not the destination; it's the journey that matters. Because I gave you that birthday thing with happiness is happiness is a journey, not a destination, or something like that.
My little Buddha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that idea of, in our society, we are obsessed by attaining things, getting somewhere, arriving at that place of happiness, if it's an emotional state or if it's a material, owning something, doing this, doing that, and we've lost sight of it's the journey that can be the profound experience. And I think he shares some incredible observations, and is a testament to how far you can go if you really dedicate yourself to something. He's impacted my thoughts about ultra running, where I want to go maybe with that, you know, and yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, and I mean, you know, put down you know, people who watch it, write down what you think about it, but the link between running and mental well-being. Do you find that there's a link? I mean, what do you think? Do you, not being a person that necessarily, I don't know, suffers from mental unwellness or dis-ease, but I guess we all have moments where we experience a low mood, or because I think it only breaks down into a mental condition, I think, when it becomes so problematic that guidance requires to be sought. But I think everyone can appreciate that there are times in one's lives where we're feeling low or feeling anxious and we're not entirely sure why. So I think this is a subject that is open to not only people who have the parts of them that is open to mental dis-ease, but it's open to everyone. I mean, how do you think running impacts on your well-being?
Oh yeah, I mean, I came to running from a weight perspective.
You were huge.
That's where I came to it from in 2018. That was my pure driving force for starting and then continuing. But I can see the benefits of it now from a mental health side.
Mm-hmm.
That you've got to go out and run, and then you can clear your head. So you can start the run with a problem or something that's cracking in the back of your head somewhere, or something that's trickling over, might be bubbling up, and it's like that could get big. But if you go for a run, you can clear it, quieten it down, or whatever, and you can just get through it. At the end of the run, you've got the high of the run. Anyway, what are the what is it, the
runner's high, or so
what are the chemicals, the endorphins? But you'd been gymming it, hadn't you?
Yes.
So that's where you'd got to. You were working out quite some of the stuff you sent me quite obsessively.
Yes.
I remember. There's one you sent me which set alarm bells ringing with me. I don't think I said at the time.
Yeah.
But you were doing burpees.
Oh right, yeah.
But you were so focused on it. And there's some camera footage you sent me.
Oh right,
doing that. and there's just something in your face at the time, and it looked like I will die if I don't do these burpees. It was.
I mean, that's an interesting thing about, I guess, the obsessive side of our personalities, which can be almost metamorphosized into something, if that's a word, into something that's potentially positive, one would hope. Whilst I can see your observation, but I guess it's with the physical side and the training side, you have to be aware of when it's an unhealthy obsession. But generally, I think with the running side, it is a healthy obsession.
Yeah, definitely.
But you said about how in those dark kind of moments do you get out and do the running? I don't know, really.
That must be
I don't know. I guess I don't know. Is it? I don't know is the answer, but I wonder.
But you must have done it.
But I don't know how.
Yeah.
But I guess is there an innate survival mechanism in our subconscious? Is there an innate thing away from the mind that's saying, I need to do this?
Well, I suppose, if we've got a destruction button within us, when you go, right, fuck it. We must also, at the same time, have a survival mechanism. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, there were days like I literally couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah.
And it felt like there was someone, probably your side, sitting on my chest. So there were days I just spent in bed.
I have got a key to your flat.
Yeah, well, I've got more than that to your house. Got cameras everywhere. So there were days I could.
That's a worry.
I couldn't breathe. I literally couldn't breathe. It felt like. So those days I didn't get out. But I guess there was something like in that animal side, that fight or flight, that's saying I need this to survive.
Yeah, because you've got a little one as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
a little person. So you were putting all your energy into just getting through the life, getting her to school and stuff like that, and then coming home and just
So
you're doing that, and then you're coming home and you're like, I'm done. So when we went for our first one together in Cromer.
Yeah.
Were you at that point, or had you got out of the?
So that our first run was before the second lockdown, wasn't it? So it was. I remember it was. Yeah.
It's when you moved back to Cromer,
it was straight. Wasn't it? It was almost within the first week or so of moving back that we went out for that run, because I needed to find a replacement for this fitness thing that I've been doing in Norwich.
Yeah.
And then we kind of started that journey, and then second lockdown came.
Yeah.
So I guess it was a slow decline.
Yeah.
At the second lockdown, at the beginning of the second lockdown, and then the realisation of how helpful the running was.
Yes.
Was kind of at that point as well.
And it was quite useful because we could still run together at that point.
Yeah.
Well, silly rules or whatever, but we were following the rules, and we could go out and run.
I wasn't following the rules. I didn't follow any of them.
You had loads
of them whatsoever.
You had loads of women around.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, party central. But so we'd go out and I think that would have been the straw that broke the camel's back if we couldn't have gone out, sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. And maybe just take a moment to think of how lockdown affected people like that, who had,
a whole lot more people than would have experienced it. I think.
Whilst this isn't a political statement, it should be observed.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the fragility of mental well-being, of maybe unsafe home environments.
Yeah.
That lockdown completely decimated, but
it's built up. It's like a ticking time bomb now. So it's affected so many more people because of the lockdowns.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we had a route out of it. And,
which was running.
Yeah.
That was it. Simple as.
Yeah.
My route to freedom, to some semblance of feeling kind of okay, having value, identity, and purpose was running.
Yeah.
And what an amazing thing to have found. I think it's almost to a certain degree, it found me, I found it. There was something where synchronicities, where things just fell into alignment, and I was like, okay, this is it. This is my thing. And there's something about personal ownership. I guess when you're on that recovery journey about becoming accountable as well, which we've talked about during Bear Honours, how we want to be accountable and transparent, but there's something about your own accountability which I think really helped. So it was down to no one but me to get myself out 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Not down to anyone else.
Yeah.
It was accountability and it was consistency. You know, and I think it's nice to look at maybe not only the personal link between running and mental well-being, but also how that individual experience can then transcend onto other people. Because there were moments, I think, that I would send Paul a thing saying what I'd just run, and then you would go, oh, do you know what? I'm right. That's got me to.
Yeah.
You know,
it inspired me to do it, because there was.
It's infectious, but it's a good infection.
I remember there was one run.
You were moaning about the weather.
I was moaning about the weather. Yeah. You were going, I'm going out running.
It's raining.
It was tipping it down. And I sat in the lounge and I don't know why you ran past our window.
No,
it's not a route you normally take.
It isn't.
But Jake, he was absolutely peeing it down. Jake ran past our lounge window and I saw him and I thought, he's done it. He's gone out in it. He's going to do it. And then I didn't want to get wet, so I went on our treadmill. But it did inspire me to instead of blowing it off and saying, I can't do this today because it's raining, I can still do it.
Yes.
Just in a different fashion or whatever. But
and I think it's happened before where there was something about your long run or something, and then I sent you a thing saying, I've just done 18k. I've just done like a 3 round.
Three times around the lighthouse, which is an absolute killer, but which inspired us to do twice around the lighthouse. And foolishly enough, when we got to the end of that, I thought, well, yes, you could do it again. You can. It's that thing where you go, actually, I could do it again. It's going to get tougher and tougher, but I can do it.
It's possible. It's achievable.
So I'm just trying to think, where did the park run slip into it then?
Well,
because
so
you've done, how many you've done?
That I'm 40 something now.
Wow.
I think I'm close to 40. I'm around the 40 mark. So that came when, because so I guess with that, the whole mental health side is that I'd got completely used to running on my own. Other than, but like,
it's like running on your own.
But
it gets nothing back.
as in, not with a group of people.
Yes, in a sort of that environment.
And I think you'd said like, have you tried parkrun? Because you had
I'd been doing it, hadn't I?
And I think you probably just suggested you could.
Well, it was it was probably one of them things where I didn't think it through because you don't drive, but you've got a motorbike. But I go up there each Saturday. There's no difference to me giving you a lift.
Like, and in fact, the first one you wouldn't do it. You made me do it on my own. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Was I injured?
I'll come and support you. No, you weren't.
You sure?
Yeah,
was I drunk?
Just lazy.
Just driving. I was like, So parkrun slipped into it, and that was then. You were doing 3 times a week plus the Saturday. And I suppose we've talked about it. It's parkrun is such a good stake in the ground because it's every Saturday. It's one that you, even if you didn't do the other runs in the week.
It's accountability. It's consistency. But there's something in this book again.
Is he paying you?
No, he's not. But Greg's, I'm sure.
Greg's will cover the cost of that. Or pepperoni.
But he talks about
pepperoni.
There's not a company called that.
Pepperoni is just like the sausage, isn't it?
It's just a sausage.
That's like Sainsbury's own.
Yeah,
Well, Lidl's to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I cover the important. You keep mithering on about types of sausage.
Sponsored by Nescafe.
Yeah. But he made the observation that amongst the ultra runners, there were a large portion of people who, I can't remember the wonderful words he uses, but who have experienced massive traumas in their life, or are ex-addicts, and they have replaced that addiction with something that's potentially beneficial rather than
definitely.
And he talks. There's a number of people he mentions in that, and I can't. Part of me, like, I can see me in that.
Yeah,
I can see visualizing when Yasmin's like old enough to kind of look after herself. I can visualize now and mentalize, which I think again is a really beneficial and positive thing. I choose to visualize myself in years to come saying to her, right, Daddy's off. I mean, I'm talking when she's older, not like when she's 11.
Yeah.
Like when she's an adult.
When she's 12.
Yeah. When she's an adult, and saying, right, I'm off to wherever to run 100k, whatever.
I can well imagine you'll do it as well. I'm planning towards that and stuff like that. I think you'll get yourself a camper van.
I can't drive.
So VW, you'll be learned to drive by then, surely. I mean, you've got, 8 years
true.
or something like that. So, I can definitely see you doing that in the future. And what a great thing as well.
Yes.
Planning.
That's such on the positive side as well. And I think, I mentioned it in one of the other videos. Like my experience, I feel quite honoured and blessed in my experience because I'm a care provider and a care receiver, whatever you. So like I worked as an art therapist. I've worked as an art therapist on acute wards where people are at that period of time in their life extremely unwell, and I've witnessed the fragility of the mind, and I guess I've also seen how physicality and going to use a running machine in that environment or being able to has benefited individuals in that situation. But it's quite interesting, I think, having one foot either side of a line.
Yes.
One foot being like, I'm a bit mental, and that's all right. But I think maybe that's the reason I could forge positive therapeutic alliances with individuals experiencing a massive low in their life, because there's something about the eyes. There's something where eyes can't lie. Where if there's a well-to-do doctor talking to someone, and then there's someone who I'm kind of sharing a little bit of me with them and saying, look, I get it. I get, I'd never say I know what you're feeling like, but I would share something, something that's what's the word where it's appropriate, something personally appropriate for that situation, to let that person know, look, I've experienced things not uncommon to what you're experiencing. And I think that's built up a good relationship. But yeah, I mean, running.
Well, we've also said it's a fantastic habit to slip into, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're talking about replacing other demons, or what do we call them, demons? I mean,
I guess,
so I drink wine or whatever. So that's my downfall at the moment. But I can see at a point, because like you're saying, if you're not drinking and you're running, you get a clearer. You wake up clearer in the morning. Yeah. And I can see that running could replace that. Yeah. What I feel is a need for wine. It's not a need for wine. Yeah. I drink it. Yeah. But I don't need it. Yeah. So I can see how running can replace that. And it's such it's a great habit to slip into, to fall into. It's
and then comes the nutrition side of it. The more you learn, the more knowledge you become.
So I had no idea about how to feed the body with proteins and fibre and stuff like that. And I don't know it, but I'm learning it on a daily basis. You know, I never knew that after exercise and running, you had to replace protein into the body. I never knew that muscles needed that to recover. They don't teach this in school.
Man. I mean, come on. And we can like break this into, or we can like develop this into a much larger.
You've been drinking?
No, I haven't. Coffee. A much larger kind of debate into like, shouldn't we be sharing this knowledge with the young people of today? Shouldn't we be sharing like this kind of stuff in the classrooms?
We've also talked about on the NHS.
We did. We had a great run when we talked about that.
Instead of money being pumped into the NHS, again, this is not political, but instead of the money going into being pumped into the NHS and going out to big pharma and companies like that who supply all these wonderful make me happy drugs and stuff like that, the money should go towards running groups in the local community. It should go towards massage therapy. It should go towards tennis for free. You know, all that money. I feel I don't know. I feel should be put into that because can I mention about the diabetes?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so open book, man. What were you?
So I was. What's the one you don't need to inject?
Sorry, that reminded me of another conversation we had. Yeah, what's the one where you
talk about that?
I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah,
so
unbelievable.
Yeah. So you were the one where you don't have to inject. It's the cure
type 2.
The one. So it's your. The way your body's set up, but you can
I think it can come from bad lifestyle. It can come from all kinds of things.
I suppose it's hereditary as well.
I think so. I don't think mine came from particularly bad luck, but anyway,
no.
So I was on like metformin, simvastatin, Lysipro, something or other. When I got diagnosed with diabetes, I had that like chat from the doctor. It's like, Jake, it's time to look at your, whatever. And and I think I got diagnosed when Yazzie was, so she'd have been 2 or 3, so 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And so in that space of time, I gave up smoking. Like, I'd never say never. Occasionally I might have a cigarette, but I pretty much don't really. I can't remember the last time I had one. And drinking, gave that up. But again, periodically I might choose to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to assign to never doing certain things.
Yeah.
And I think really again, shout out to Olympus Gym, because since joining that and really upping my game, I've come off the diabetic medication. So I've kind of learnt enough to cure myself.
Yeah. Well, you've saved the NHS money.
Yeah, I guess.
Haven't you?
Yeah.
It's
but it's something that is achievable.
But what you were on, have they got side effects which can?
Probably, I'm sure. I think most have.
Sometimes I wonder. We're given. They give you a combination of drugs, don't they? And then they give you another drug to combat something that's.
But the thing because when we went for that run and you were talking about this subject, you almost came up with like Dragon's Den, like we could sell this idea because.
Well, don't tell them then.
Well, no. But it was like we were talking about the cost of antidepressants, the cost of other types of medication, and wouldn't it be? I think our idea was again linked into the VIP, value, identity, and purpose. A VIP person was that at point of assessment or referral, why not try giving someone a free gym membership before medication? The subject matter was more about the GP, who again, no disrespect, but is a general practitioner. They're not necessarily experts on mental health. before it goes any further, why not try giving that person a free gym membership?
Yeah. Because
and having you were talking about having an app on a phone where
is this my Dragon's Den bit?
I don't know. It might have been. Yeah, it's out now. But yeah, it was like, so you could you could log in and see where you could go with this card.
Yeah. Well,
and it makes it a community. It makes it, and I think that's, if you look at, I think that came off the back of me finding out when I was looking for employment at one time. So I did some research on how much it costs. In this instance, it was a young person to be assessed for mental health issues, and how much it costs to facilitate therapy to them, and then how much it costs if someone is then required to have a stay in hospital, and we're running into it was, I think, for an acute, so it was something like 60,000-70,000 a year, or it was huge. Per person. So it was huge amounts of money, and then that got us on to talk about why don't we try this first? Wouldn't that be? And this fits in with all of this subject.
And of course, money can be a big issue of mental health. If you haven't got the money, you fall into the trap of, well, I can't afford to do that. So if you can get down the gym for nothing, which I can't see why that can't be a benefit for somebody. They're called benefits. If you call them benefits, it should be a benefit.
And asking that person what their particular thing is, it might not be the gym, it might be swimming.
Well, exactly. We've got a wonderful tennis facility in Cromer, but of course it's like a membership. You can just rock up and play. But it tends to be a membership, and it's quite expensive. That's not their fault. I can understand why they've got to do it, but if you can give people the chance, it's in our community. Why can't we use it? Why does it have to be sort of a?
And we were mentioning about how it's kind of like you need to, like, I was talking about how I feel like I'm kind of genuine anarchist. I think like it's not about the violence side, the anarchy, and it's not about destruction, but it's about, I think getting to a point where we are intelligent and perceptive enough to self-rule, but we're
in a status quo, and I think the idea of juggling things up and just seeing, there's that anarchy side.
Let's just give this
instead of keep saying we have to keep doing what we've been doing.
The system's broken was my analogy. Is the system we're in is broken.
Again, it's not political.
No, just generally, like culturally. So if it is in that state, if we have so many people on a waiting list for therapy, if we have so many people taking psychoactive drugs, if we have all of this, what harm can come from giving this idea a go? A grassroots new concept of how to treat.
It might be the thing that it's something we have to set up at some point. We start going out for runs and saying, well, we'll be here at a certain point. Why not? Because running's a nice entry level, because it shouldn't cost you too much. It ends up costing you an absolute fortune because they keep sending you adverts for new shoes.
New shoes.
And that's
shoe
where
porn.
My bank doesn't like the places that keep sending me shoe porn. But running on a entry level is very inexpensive.
And you don't need anything either. And some outside. There you go.
I thought there was an assassin.
Get down.
You don't
lives
need
on a knife edge.
You don't need much to get into it. So it could be a thing that if we felt like it, or somebody felt, you could say, well, we're going to do the Lighthouse Run. Meet us here at whatever time. And people can join and just enter into it that way, and then find their own sort of.
And I think as well, it's like it's not necessarily saying the other ways of treatment are wrong. I think they're for a large amount of people they're right and they work. But maybe before going down that route, it would be a good idea just to test out if attending like meetings and learning about nutrition, learning, going for these free runs, going to getting a free gym, give that a go
Yeah.
before you reach for this prescription.
Well, I think
give that a go before you reach for these things that
we are pretty much from birth sort of told that you go to the doctors, they'll give you something, and it'll make you feel better.
But that's the thing. You're right. It'll make you feel better, but it won't get rid of it.
No, yeah.
Because if you look at the majority of tablets, it will say the symptoms of.
Yes.
It will get rid of the symptoms of. It won't sort the underlying issue.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, that's what running is perhaps doing, is helping me cure rather than just...
Well, you made a good point. I think it should have been picked up in one of our things, but I do apologise. The audio sometimes on the running is not brilliant, and we've got to solve that. But you were saying, when you couldn't run because of your knee...
Yeah.
You were saying something like, it's like somebody saying...
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I do remember. So it's... I was using the analogy of that, like, relative knee injury was like someone coming to me saying, you know that tablet that you take that makes you feel okay every day?
Yeah.
Stop taking that.
You can't have that.
Yeah. That's what not running felt for me.
Yeah, and that was 4 days.
Yeah. So you know the thing that makes you feel really good, that thing you take in the morning,
that's gone now.
You're not allowed to do that anymore. And that's so it's
so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
so it's kind of that taking that place, and I think that's the link of running and mental health pretty much covered, isn't it? I think we've like nailed that.
Well, tell us your experiences of how it's helped you, or because like I say, although I came to it from a health, from a size, I can now see the benefits of it. To the point where I need to go out. Like last night, it got to 8 o'clock, and I just needed to run. And that was indoors on a treadmill, but I had to do it. It was like, it just sits there and it goes, I have to run. And you know it's going to calm you. Your thought process.
It's replacing the negative with the positive. It's the negative positive.
You're right. You're not having a stroke because it's quite a way to Norwich.
Right. There's A&E.
I don't think I've got enough petrol in the car, so you'll have to walk.
But there's that link of like replacing the negative with the positive, isn't it? It's that. So I hope that's laid bare. Oh dear. She's on fire.
That's terrible. I hope that's laid bare. I'll say it again.
Do it.
I'll just keep saying it.
Just use it. It's good.
Hope that's laid bare how we feel about it. I mean, your experience is much... I can, like you were saying to people, I can't understand from your point of view, but it helps me to understand from your point of view.
But then we do all have a connection with well-being.
Yes,
exactly. So it's something that everyone can sort of tap into, I guess.
Yeah. So I hope that was useful.
Informative.
Is that the right? Informative.
Yeah. Sharing is caring. Like, share it amongst your friends. The video.
Brilliant. That was nearly
seamless. Share amongst your friends. And Greg's. Contact Greg's for us.
If you work for Greg's, I mean, we're happy to wear.
And pasties and
Right.
Okay.
Can we do the just one?
We could maybe do the closeout thing with that and go in.
I was holding it.
You hold it then.
Yeah, I was all right. I didn't need assistance.
Book Nazi.
You can point to it.
All right,
Why did we do?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Great book. I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to read it.
You will. Yeah. It's good.
Boom.
Cool.